This is the episode that we use when we send out for festivals, uh, which I guess means it's the best episode, or we think it's the best episode. I think this is my favorite episode for a few different reasons. One of them is this scene. Had a chance to work with Greg Crow. Again, another very crazy, crazy cold day.
Yeah.
Not as cold as Dream Day.
We love to shoot on cold days.
This day was actually, it was really...
It was so windy.
Windy. And that causes a problem for sound, naturally. And we had Jimmy Powell handling the sound this day. Tim was shooting. Went over to a park. What's it called?
Lake Montebello.
Lake Montebello, right? And just found a little area. I mean, I had scouted it in advance. That's an important thing. And I hope anybody out there who's a filmmaker does that, is don't just show up at a location.
Well, your original location was somewhere else.
No, it wasn't. This was definitely my... No, I already planned this. You should definitely know where you're going to be. And you should know the environment, and you should know, is this a day where it's going to be really crowded? Is it going to be a problem? Because you don't want to have your whole cast and crew show up, and then for whatever reason, there's a parade that day.
Not that we've ever done that.
So much fun. You see the background here. You see that guy walking, you'll see it in other shots. There was a guy who and I had seen that guy the day before. Do you know that?
No.
Yeah, this guy you're going to see in the background who's doing the funny walk. He was there the day before when I was scouting and kind of sitting on this bench, and I was taking some stills and some video just to get a chance, just to kind of figure out what the shots might look like. And he was giving me really, really funny looks. Yeah, I don't know why. I didn't think we'd see him the next day.
You're in his
abode. We came back to shoot. So what I just said about knowing the lay of the land, no, it's still applicable, because I didn't expect the guy to be showing up at the exact same time the next day when we went to shoot.
The scene is hilarious.
Yeah, Greg Crow
Greg is just hysterical.
He's blessed with this amazingly wonderful face, this hangdog, warm face, and a great voice, and a great natural cadence, comedic cadence.
I sat down next to him. We were setting up for lighting or something, and he turned to me and started rehearsing his lines, and I just exploded. I couldn't even look at him for half of a second without losing it. He's just so funny.
Another scene that, I'm proud of the writing. This is a really funny scene, and it not only is it funny, but it also sort of, it says something about life, and it says something about what it is to be middle-aged and to run, because you think if you keep running, you won't die. It's dark and funny, and I like it. And also I love that he goes to get advice, and then ultimately,
the level of desperation Adam has.
It's a surreal scene, and I'm not somebody who tends to write a lot of surreal stuff. Like does Tom the Jogger even really exist?
And does he? I don't know.
He says, did that just happen? So maybe that's the out. Had a chance to shoot at Motor House, and that was their restaurant. Oh, this in the blooper reel, there's a take where
she's not holding the phone.
Right.
She's on the phone.
She's on the phone, but she's too high to actually hold the phone.
Was she actually high?
Pretty sure she was high in this scene. Okay. Yeah, I think so.
Poor Bunny. We should stop.
I know, we really should. She's a really, really good. Most importantly, she's a phenomenal actress and a really great comedian and a great writer.
We actually didn't have a makeup artist that day, so it was my idea just to slap those green masks on them.
We got so lucky with the snow.
Yeah.
Because it's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's, I wish I could say that, we had a snow machine.
That was a snowstorm. We had a really bad snowstorm that day. Mm-hmm. Remember, Sasha had to stay in town. This was the same day
that we shot the jogger scene. Mm-hmm. Just later on that day, it started to snow. That's our... We don't live in that apartment anymore, but we actually never figured out what to call that room. It's the middle.
It's the middle room. It's the middle room. I was so excited to shoot in this cafe. That was the first time we actually had a location that wasn't our apartment, I think.
I don't know about that.
Well,
not to mention it.
No, we had shot. No.
It was our first cafe.
Okay, it was our first.
I was
campaign.
very excited by this.
He really just wants the opportunity.
And I want a cozy little
We made
cottage
it.
in Vermont where I can paint
Got a cafe.
watercolors till I pass in my sleep at the age of 90. Don't let
I'm watching Sasha in this moment. I really like the way she handled the words that I wrote, and both of them, and Chelsea as well. They both really bring a lot of life.
She won't even let
Always great if you can to get into a car and shoot somebody driving. Makes you look like you have a budget.
And normally
It does.
Yeah, a little bit. It's the little things. You know, so okay, this was shot in our house, and then hey, we're in a car. Look at that.
I don't know.
Write my next play. I will
We got a budget.
just you. Sure. I gotta run. Sorry.
Adam frustrated. Oh, that's
That's
the
our
sound
dog.
of our dog in the background. He's not
Being a
happy
dick.
that we're recording.
This is not
the
actually
third one.
Phoenix.
No, that
That
wasn't
was a
Phoenix.
photoshopped Phoenix.
That wasn't even like a video of Phoenix. That was a still.
Well, it was a still, and
That you-
I combined it with video.
Oh, you did?
I work some magic.
Oh, okay. So this scene with Nikki, I said earlier that we've said this several times. She moved, so that was her side of this conversation was shot the same day we shot the chess scene, and it was shot at a house across the street.
Our neighbor.
From our house, our neighbor Reggie, and we just made that Phoenix. So, and you can do that when you just get a little title card that says Phoenix, and she's in a corporate apartment. Just a really
Also, we couldn't figure out where to shoot your side of the conversation, so we said, "Hey, how about a car?"
Oh, right. Yeah, we shot this the last night. That was the last thing we shot that night was or that day was that side, my side of the conversation.
Nikki does a nice job being drunk, fake drunk.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Istanbul, what?
They want me to
Yes.
Turkey? Who? I didn't know they had
That was
one.
Joey Malinsky actually shot.
Yeah.
I gotta stop saying actually. That we should make that a drinking game. If you're listening to all these commentaries, every time I say actually, take a drink and you'll get freaking hammered.
And
Are
your
you saying
dog?
actually a lot?
Yes, too much, and I don't. It's just it's one of those words that is a stall tactic word.
Like
Worse than though. Reason we have a scene in a bowling alley is because a bowling alley said we could shoot there.
Yes.
You know, this scene. My niece is in this scene.
Probably
and,
Doug's
and-
nightmare.
And Matthew Bowerman's son is in this scene. Matthew, of course, who plays Greg. The only reason. Problem with this scene, just from strictly a storytelling standpoint, you know, you hear about how a scene is supposed to like raise the stakes or something changes. None of that happens in this scene. This is just Adam expressing his frustration and concern about, Abby and that and all that. But really, I just wrote this because we had a bowling alley, and I wanted to say something funny about duck pins and hobbits. Well, if you think about it, it doesn't
now
really.
I'm processing now as you say it, but I realize yes, you're right. But
I mean, I think in an earlier draft of this scene, Adam talks a little bit more about is he losing his wife?
yes, that was the purpose. He's good. He's nervous,
Right, that he actually that his marriage might be in jeopardy,
and she's
and that
away,
got
and
kind of taken out.
right.
So it's kind of left with just funny stuff between an uncle and his niece, and good stuff between Adam and calling him a drunk German Duke is freaking hilarious, but it doesn't really move the story forward at all. The next scene does. I mean, I guess unless moving a scene forward is somebody walking towards a lane. Adam thinking, this is the Rocky scene, man. I'm not taking this shit anymore, man. Petra, hey, you listen to me, Petra. So I'm an actor. I'm right for the role, and I'm doing it.
Look, I'm coming to the audition next week.
It was really fun shooting this entire montage.
Yes.
And then putting it together, and we got great music for this scene from Eddie McIntosh.
Right for the role.
I have really, really, really bad handwriting.
Who?
He's so determined. Who is Frank Delveskey? He's going to dig deep. That's what an actor does, right? Finding the character. Well, that's a cool shot.
This is our basement in our little apartment.
Yep.
World.
It's so
Oh, the
ridiculous.
tongs.
Take a look at her.
This is one of those things I was giggling in the background.
The arc crank's looking pretty
It's
good.
good. It looks like it's your. I don't even remember what it's saying
I
here.
love the grunts here. Yeah.
You got a bad
Sure.
DLV filter. There we
Oh, this was beautiful. All those background actors that we didn't have to hire. What happened was we were shooting that shot, getting that shot, and then the church happened to be letting out while we were there.
Yeah.
So Tim and I just ran over to the door. I acted like it was. I mean, I did go through the door, and it just was like perfect. It's just one of those, things that you don't expect, but it was so great, and it adds so much to the whole montage. I think.
Deeper out. Dig deeper.
Let's go looking for a shirt. Oh, there we go. That's B-roll for you right there.
Heavy
And then this Metro Gallery. Again, we're shooting at Metro Gallery because I knew John, who's the lead singer in this band from Nothing, and he said he was performing there that night. So I got a hold of Kevin Hawk, who's actually this guy
Kevin.
here on my. I just said actually again, drink. And I asked him, could we maybe shoot something while they're on stage? And he was like, sure. He got the necessary permission. And so we show up. It's just me, Tim, Maria, and Tommy Duncan was there doing sound. And Tommy was like, how are we going to do this? I said, I don't know. Don't worry about it. Just get audio.
I was worried too, but
I knew in my mind
pulled
what
it off.
this was going to be. And I'm, luckily this was what mattered in terms of sound.
Well, logistically, I wasn't sure how we were going to get because this is an actual club that was
you said
really
actual? Is that drinking?
well.
Drink.
It's a real club,
Yes.
and
This
it
is
was
a show.
open. And
This
these
is
are
an
people
actual-
who are there to see a band, and they're
Right.
not,
there to see
they're
me
not going
in
to.
my little black hat.
No, I mean, I
We had to run around to every single person there and give
I
them
had
a
like 4 different
consent
wardrobe
form.
options for this, and then settled on that.
You had to wear that.
No, I had other.
That's why we cut those sleeves.
When we ultimately decided we were going, I had other shirts.
Oh,
I
I
had
do
cut.
remember you coming out of the bedroom with all the different options.
John, God bless him, great musician. He's not.
God bless him.
he's
That's what you say about
well,
people you
This is
don't
his
like.
first time ever acting, but he did a really, really nice job, and he was so nervous.
All right, thanks a lot, man. Good, 5 stars, definitely.
This is where you decided to run into the trees.
Yes. So now this is now January of 2018. Nikki has come back for the weekend, and we have to grab whatever we can.
Yeah, I can't remember everything we got while she was here.
Well, this.
So we just shoved it all in one weekend.
Yep. This is the return of Abby, and really
Semyon.
funny exchange between Adam and Semyon.
We had to bring Semyon back. We loved him so much.
Yeah.
Wife to die alone on Baltimore City streets. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Thank you very much for
You
watching.
left your wife
Very proud of me tonight.
in the cold.
I just came from seeing
Right.
4 very alive people bands.
It's okay.
I was really tired when we shot this.
Supertramp, perhaps.
We had been because we had
Where
been.
did we
I don't.
shoot this? Oh, we shot the party scene this day?
He says
Next
I
door,
don't
maybe.
remember.
I don't know.
people say groups.
I don't remember. But love between the two of
Go
them.
to Turkey.
I'm not. I told Garrity I was allergic to rugs.
You're not going to Turkey.
One mistake I made. Look how Adam's he's holding
Yeah.
that
Like it's
like,
empty.
like it's completely empty.
And it is.
So you don't need to show actual sex to imply sex. It's very clear from this scene that the two of them have just had some happy times.
Who is it that I was just reading about a director who purposely doesn't show sex?
Oh, really?
A really good director.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I don't think I've seen sex in a Tarantino movie.
Maybe it was Tarantino. I don't know.
Huh.
I know it's
The
it's
song,
hard to
we
say.
got this from
His name.
freemusicarchive.org. And it was such a perfect song.
That's my
the
friend
Italian
Anne's
song.
house. Our friend Anne's house, I should say.
Yeah. Oh, this one, when Maria was talking about watching Sasha disappear into her character, this was
Yeah.
a scene. Because, there's a lot of emotion in this scene. And, she has to play a lot of layers. And so it has to look authentic.
Yeah, we were eating dinner as a crew,
Right.
and Sasha transformed into Petra mid-conversation,
Mid-bite.
mid-bite. And I was like, what? Sasha's left the building.
Life we both have left. Have at it.
She ain't drinking milk.
Our dog is
I don't-
licking
I don't
himself.
know if that-
I hope you're enjoying that sound. I am not going to tell you what the next episode is. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Don't tell him. Okay.
Stay
Actually, have a drink.
tuned.